What's going on, world? DS1 Ross, and we back here on Sheep Stay Sleep TV. Shout out to everybody who support the platform. Much love. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Shout out to all the visionaries that's in the building. If you are here, make sure you hit the like button, man. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you share this show. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you share this show. Shout out to the A Game family. Salute to the A Game Nation. We're back here on Sheep Stay Sleep TV. Once again, salute to everybody who support the platform, man. It's very much appreciated. It's very much appreciated, man. Let me see who's up in the building. I'm going to give some shout outs. Peace to Malika in the building. Salute. Shout out to D Remedy. I appreciate you, bro. Appreciate the super chat. Salute. Shout out to my brother, the underrated one. Salute. Salute to the #1 grinder. It's my brother right there. Shout out to my brother, the Bishop. Appreciate you, bro, for the super sticker. Salute. A-Game family in the building. Salute. And before we get into the show, I want to let you guys know, once again, that in the next couple of days, the first issue of the Black Manosphere magazine will be available. If you support this channel, if you are a visionary, make sure you get this magazine. It is for us, brothers. It is for us. And when I say it's for us, meaning it represents us in the way that we want to be represented. A lot of us in this space, or in general, we do not like how Black men are portrayed in the media. So we decided to create our own here in the A-Game Nation. So make sure you get your copy. It will be on sale, as you can see, on Amazon, August 4th. Stay tuned for more information on that. Make sure you support Black male media, man. If you support this space, you support Black male media. Get your first issue of the Black Manosphere magazine. Salute to the whole A-Game family. Salute to the whole A-Game Nation. So make sure y'all get y'all copy. Like I said, I will be keeping y'all posted more in the next couple of days. So salute to y'all. So once again, shout out to all the visionaries out there, man. Shout out to y'all. And y'all see today's show. Y'all see today's title. Know your role and play it. Know your role and play it. This is something that this is going to be an open, candid conversation that has to be had every once in a while, because I think a lot of times, you know, some people get caught up in the politics of things, and they you know, people forget just who they are and who other people are. And a lot of times that causes a lot of friction, especially between men. This is why it's important that you know your role and you play your role, man. Don't ever go outside of that, because that's where a lot of people have problems at. That's where a lot of the, the peacocking and all of the bullshit comes from. That a lot of us brothers at a certain age shouldn't even be dealing with. Because at the end of the day, when dudes know they role and they playing they role, all that other shit is irrelevant. It's irrelevant. And a lot of times we get caught up in the irrelevant shit. We stay stuck in the shit that don't really mean nothing. We get caught up in the fluff. And see, that really won't happen when dudes know they role and play their role. See, when you know your role and you play your role, you're not worried about what nobody else doing. You're not worried about what nobody else have. You don't worry about what nobody else don't have. You're not sitting around talking about what you think somebody don't have or do have. You don't even care about that type of shit. And I see a lot of brothers in this space, they get caught up on that shit. And that's not good for the space. Number one, because it keeps what's important stagnant. And then it doesn't look good to younger brothers who come and try to listen to content. They just hear a bunch of internet bravado and, a bunch of peacocking. See, if you here to help men, that's what you here to do. Now, if you here to show off, I mean, that's irrelevant. This is what I mean by knowing your role and playing it. Now, if you don't know your role, then you just gonna do anything. And you could look at the content and see that there's no direction because dudes don't know their role. And I want to let younger brothers know, don't get caught up in that. Don't get caught up in that. Because at some point or another, we all do. But don't get caught up in that. Because it serves you no purpose, especially if you're here for a purpose. See, if you're here to serve a purpose, don't get caught up in that shit. Because as you can see, BS is always at the front of the menu for a lot of people. And that doesn't help us, man. It doesn't help nobody. So knowing your role is important. It's very important. Knowing your role is important. But what is your role? How do you find out your role? How do you figure out what you should be doing? First, by gaining what? Knowledge of oneself, which is what? The first value of the 10 life values, which is spiritual. The knowledge of oneself. This is why you got a bunch of fluff. Because for one, dudes don't even know their roles. And see, let me explain this to y'all too. When you do know your role, when you're a guy who knows your role and you're playing your role, the guys who don't know their role are going to demonize you for it. They're going to make less of your role. They're going to make it seem like you don't have a role. They're going to make it seem like what you're doing doesn't matter. See, because that's the trait of a lost nigga. To just go around and to demonize everything. Meanwhile, they do nothing. You see? This is why I did the video earlier this week. Stand because When you a guy who know your role and you are self-assured, you know that that's what you want to do, and that's how you operate in your life, there's going to be a lot of people who are not going to be comfortable with you operating in that energy. Let me explain something to you, brothers. When you know your role and you operate that way, there's going to be people who are not in alignment with that. But you must stand strong on your convictions. You see? This is why the first value in the 10 life value system is spiritual. Don't let nobody take you off your square. Don't let nobody make you feel guilty for what you believe in, brother. Don't let nobody do that. Don't let nobody tell you what you think and how you are is wrong. Don't let nobody do that. You see? Know your role and play it. That's all you have to do. You don't have to do nothing else, nothing more. Know your role and execute you playing your role. That's it. It's no need to step on nobody else's toes. It's no need to offend another man. It's no need to do none of that. It's no need to secretly compete with other people. There's no need for that. You know why? Because you are playing your part. And brothers, that's all you can do in this life is play your part. You can't play nobody else's part. You see? You can't play your homeboy. You can't be your homeboy. You can't live his life. Live your life. Know your role and play your role. You see? This is why they say it takes a team. Because Mike wouldn't have won 6 rings without role players. See, Mike was great at playing what? He was great at playing his role. And then he had what? Key role players. You need role players. You need men who know how to operate in their lane. But everybody want to swerve into everybody else's lane for some reason. Everybody want to know what everybody else is doing. Everybody want to be focused on who's doing what and who's not doing what. That's feminine. Stop being so nosy. Stop worrying about what other men are doing. That's nosy. Stop speaking on what you think other dudes are doing. It's too much of that going on. Then you wonder why the younger dudes don't listen to the older dudes. Because the same stuff you trying to tell them they shouldn't be doing, y'all sit online and do. Y'all sit online and do it all the time. Y'all sit up here and gossip just like y'all sit up and gossip in front of the project building. Y'all do the same thing. speaking on who got what and who doing what and who not doing what and who doing who and who not doing who. This is sad. This is embarrassing. This shows the lack of value that black men have for one another and black men have in each other. To the point where we're not even valuing our own position. This is why the 10 life values is so important. So all of the foolishness is going to stop. You're not going to want to be a part of that because you got other things to worry about. See, when you get the 10 life values, your conversation begin to change. Your conversation begins to change. The level of your conversation begins to change. The depth of your conversation changes. It changes. You see? And when your conversation changes, when the way you think and the way you feel changes, what is that? That's a change in your what? In your biology. You see? So now you starting to understand who, see, when you begin to understand who you are, right? The essence of you. Who are you? Your character. And you begin to value that. Then you begin to realize your what? Your role. Who am I? You'll never know your role if you don't know who you are. And when I say your role, I'm talking about what you bring to society. Like what your purpose in life, not your role at the job. I'm not talking about that. What were you brought to this earth to offer people? That is the reason for having talent. You see? That is your purpose for God giving you talent. So you can offer it to the world. What is that? And in what lane is that in? So you can figure out your role. When you're looking at entertainment, you're looking at artistry. You're dealing with art, music, that's art. What is your role, brother? What's your role? See, I want to be around men who know what they want to bring to the world. You see? Because then I know our conversations are going to be meaningful. They're not going to be based in consumerism. You see? When we talking about actually buying something, we're talking about building something. Not just what I'm going to go consume today or how much I can consume. You see what I mean? By the conversation changes when the 10 life values are introduced into your life. Your conversation will change. The conversation will change, young brothers. See, because now you got some value on your life instead of a price tag. See, now your life is worth something and it don't cost anything. See, before you had a price tag on your life. Now there's some value connected to it. There's some worth connected to it because you put something on there. You put something on there by giving it some meaning. See, you got to give your life meaning. That's the purpose of having a role and playing a role. You see? But if you never know your role or you never figure out your role, I see why a lot of brothers continue to perpetuate the nonsense. Because you don't know what you should be doing. You don't know. But we have a value system that can guide you because you're lost, brother. You listening to Sheep Stay Sleep TV. If you want to stay a sheep, if you want to stay a blind follower, then do that. But you got visionaries in the chat. They'll help you see, brother. They'll help you see, sister. That's what the A Game Nation is about. Helping Black people become the best versions of themselves. That's what the 10 life values are there for. It's not there to compete with anyone. It is there to actually help you bring the best out of you. That's what this is. It is to help bring the best out of you. Not for you to compare it to someone else. No. It is to bring the best out of everyone. This will help you find your role. Because there's still a lot of brothers out here who don't know their role. And there's some brothers who don't assume to have one. That's cool too. But the world would be a better place, man, if everybody knew their role and played it. See, when we knew our role, brothers, and played our roles and executed in our rightful areas, we had a Black Wall Street. We had a Tulsa. We had all of these places because we knew our roles and we played them. It wasn't about stepping on nobody's toes. It wasn't no big I's and little U's. It wasn't none of that. It wasn't none of that. It became that over time with the what? With the praise of the backward value system. See, practicing XLV, you're going to have another Black Wall Street. You're going to have another Tulsa practicing XLV. But when you practice the backward value system, which is consumerism, will have us spinning blocks, dropping ops, having brothers having internet mandingo fights, trying to prove who has the best talking point. See, that's the backward value system. Well, I could say that better than him. I look better than him. See, that's all based in consumerism, the backward value system. I'm a better consumer than you. I'm a better slave. Look at me, master. See, that's what y'all really saying. When y'all doing all this peacocking and little competitive, little girly stuff, that's what you doing. You saying, pick me, master. Don't pick him. I'm the better choice. I can stay out in the sun longer. Pick me, master. Don't pick him. He's not worthy. He hasn't done enough. Pick me, me. You see? That's what other groups of men see when they see black men cutting each other's throat, when they see black men stepping on each other's toes. That's what they see. They see you saying, hey, pick me, not him, me. That's what they see. That's what they see. You want to be the head Negro in charge to do what? To do what? To build what? To take all your talents and go build up another man's empire like you've been doing? Because you don't know your role. You don't know your role. And you don't know your role because you don't see no value in yourself. You don't even know you have value. See, this is what happens. This is what happens. And who does this help at the end of the day? Who does this help? Shout out to Hannibal. Salute. Appreciate it, bro. Who does this help? Doesn't help nobody. Damn sure don't help us. See, listen, man. Listen. Y'all could keep fooling yourselves. But time and time again, the proof is going to show what it really is. The proof is going to show it. So all of the, all of the hoopla, it's unnecessary, man. Brothers, when they tell you to get around like-minded individuals, they're talking about individuals who know their role and play their role. Be around men who know their role and play their role. Don't be around nobody who are secretly trying to take your place, secretly don't want you in your place, don't know how to take their own positions and fill their own space and be effective in what they do, but want to take everybody else shit. Be aware of those people, man. Those are not like-minded people, brothers. Because a like-minded person understands their role and executes their role. They don't look to take anyone else's. If I am a power forward, why am I trying to be the point guard? Why am I down in the post trying to grab rebounds when I should be bringing the goddamn ball up the court? See, this is what happens when you don't have any of this, brothers. When you don't have this structure, which You'll never have any structure if you don't have a system. See, this is what happens. This is what happens. You respect a man in his position because you want a man to respect you and yours. You see? Because you understand that everyone plays a role so we can all win. So there is no big I's and little U's. There is no I'm better than you. There is none of that. That doesn't matter. That's not going to contribute to the win for everyone. We want everyone to win. This is why everybody must play a role, not step on anyone else's toes, not trying to take anybody else's spot. Just play your role, do what you need to do, and that's it. Brothers, we got to get back to that. We got to get back to that, man. All that sitting around doing all that peacock and shit, that shit don't mean nothing, man. And it make us look bad. It make us look bad. It speaks to our appearance value. Especially after a certain age. You should not be 30 years. If you 30 years of age or older, you should not be peacocking. You should not, especially on the internet. Especially on the internet. Because it shows what? It shows that you really not playing your role. It shows that you don't understand who you are and the role that you should be playing at the age that you are. You see that? And then we wonder why the young brothers don't respect the older dudes. Because dudes is not carrying themselves as such. Dudes still running around worrying about who look better than who have this and who don't have that. That's childish, man. That's childish. That's childish. It's childish, man. Whether you like me saying it or not, it's childish. That's just the truth. That is shit we did when we were young boys. That's just what it is. That's just what it is. We grown now. You think somebody really care about what you wearing? You really think somebody care about how much money you make? Do you really care? Or do you really think somebody cares? Like, we grown, bro. We grown men. You think somebody care about that shit? And see, when younger brothers are sitting back and they peeping that, they like, wow. They like, wow. Why is this dude, like, who is this dude? Like, I have younger dudes that hit me up and they ask me about certain people, certain guys in the space, and they be like, yo, who do these dudes be talking about? Like they just be going in talking about what dudes don't got and da 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 da. And I be telling them like, yo, I don't know who these dudes be talking about. And these are guys that are in their late 20s, mid to late 20s. And they be like, yo, that's I can't listen to that, bro. Like, what do these dudes be talking about? Like, don't nobody care what kind of clothes they wear? Don't nobody care if they got money? Like, we all men out here. Like, who care for what another man has? Who's sitting around clocking what other people does? What man does that? This is a young dude telling me this. I'm like, I understand, bro. I understand exactly what you're saying. Because I share those same sentiments. I share those same sentiments. So trust and believe. There's a lot of young men who be in the cloud. See, a lot of the younger brothers, they don't really type in the chat rooms. A lot of them watch us on replay. A lot of them watch our pre-records. And they hit some of us up in the background. I got emails from multiple guys. I got plenty of comments. It's under the videos. They're looking for men. They're looking for guidance from men who know their role. That's what they're looking. That's what they're coming here to hear. They're not coming here to hear a dude on the internet who's basically scared to say the stuff he's saying in the streets, so he get on the internet and say it. You really scared to go outside and make money, so you decided to make money online. See, these young brothers, they come from that environment and they know the cloth. They know who's genuine and who's not. And I always tell them, listen, it's not about that. Take what you can get from what they say, build upon that, and that's that. I always tell them that. I never tell young brothers, yo, don't listen to that brother. Or, yo, who you think is better, me or them? And I don't never do that. I don't never do that. I allow brothers to make their own decision based on their own evidence and their own volition. I don't try to skew their perception in any way. Because at the end of the day, I know my role. And I understand that if a younger brother is coming to me, I'm responsible to not to send him off in a direction where he's going to be confused or hurt in any kind of way. See, that's my job. And it's also my job to not to let, young brothers hold resentment against other brothers. See, that's another thing I don't do. Because I understand my role. If I know a younger brother is reaching out to me, he look up to me. He look up to me. So I'm not going to tell him, I'm not going to give him, some hateful type of stuff to take with him. the first time he come to me or whenever he come to me. Because there he gonna look at me like, damn, big bro is a hater. You see? Or damn, big bro must feel some type of way about them. Or about such and such. Or about whatever. I don't do that. Because I understand my role and I play my role. I understand the importance of it. I understand when a younger brother come to me and asks me about something, he want me to be honest, and he doesn't want me to judge him, but he also doesn't want me to make a choice for him. That's what I never do. I allow them to make the choice. Because that teaches them to understand what role they play and how they